Hello everyone. In this video I am going to service a vintage Alara movement. This is made in Switzerland, and this is AS1475 manual wind Alara movement. I believe this movement has been in production between 1954 and 1970. This is a very quality movement, and it also has alarm and time dual function. You can set the alarm by pulling the crown at 2 hours. Before removing the balance, let's release the power from the mainspring. Now it's safe to remove the balance. I'm removing the balance by unscrewing the balance screw. Slowly pry the balance cock to remove the balance cock from the movement. The balance should come out as one unit. Now we can remove the ballack fork. I'm unscrewing the ballack fork bridge screw to remove the ballack fork bridge. Slowly pry the ballack fork bridge. Very little power is needed, enough to remove the ballack fork bridge. Don't apply excessive power, that might break the ballack fork. Now I'm going to remove the ballack fork itself. Now let's flip the movement and start working on the dial side. All the alarm wheels and the levers are covered by the alarm plate. First we should remove the alarm plate by unscrewing the two screws. This movement has many screws, and I don't want her to keep track of where the screws needs to go back, so as much as possible I'm going to screw back the screws into place so that I will have less work during my assembly. It takes a little bit of time, but it saves a lot of confusion when you try to put it back. The plate looks clean. Now I am removing the alarm wheel. This is the wheel which triggers the alarm based on your alarm setting. This is the second alarm wheel which goes hand in hand with the first one we removed. As I said, I'm putting back the screws back. I'm removing the alarm setting wheel. Now it's safe to remove the time setting wheel. I'm using the Cannon pinion remover tool to remove the Cannon pinion. This is the safest way to remove it. You can also use a tweezer, but I prefer this method. Now let's work on the keyless work. This movement has two sets of keyless work, one for alarm and one for time. Let's start working on the time side of the keyless work. I'm unscrewing the two screws which is holding the bridge. I'm going to carefully remove the bridge by using a P-tool because there's a spring underneath that. I don't want the spring to fly over all over the room. Removing the plate, the setting wheel. Now we can remove the yoke by releasing the spring. I'm using a brass tweezer here to gently press the spring so that I can remove the yoke. Apply very little pressure here. I'm holding the spring so that it doesn't fly all over the room. I'm not able to get a good view here because the spring got stuck in the plate. I am getting the movement closer to my loop and getting it out. Sorry for that. I was able to take out the spring. I'm putting back the screws back in the keyless work. Now I'm going to remove the alarm lever. This is the lever which releases the alarm power and makes the alarm ring. While cleaning this particular alarm lever, an extreme care needs to be taken. If this alarm lever bends, the function of alarm might not work as expected, so I'm going to take some extra care while cleaning this particular lever. I'm putting back the screw of the alarm lever. Now I'm going to strip down the keyless work of the alarm. The alarm keyless work is covered by a plate which has two springs. Extreme care needs to be taken while removing the plate. I'm removing the screw of the alarm plate. I'm using a P-tool here to slowly pry the plate out of the main plate. You see two springs here. These gets activated when you pull the crown at 2 o'clock position to activate the alarm. I'm removing the first spring by holding it with P-tool and tweezer. Slightly releasing the spring should remove the lever. Removing the alarm lever. I don't know the exact name of these parts because these are old movements, but these levers are used to activate the alarm. So if you want the exact name, you can refer the manual of AS1475. Putting back the screws again. Now I'm removing the other spring using my twister and pivot. Now I'm going to work on the alarm side of keyless walk by removing the keyless walk plate by unscrewing the screw. The plate should come off. Now I'm going to remove the alarm setting plate. You can see the quality of this movement, and this plate holds two wheels, and these two wheels are kind of mounted within the plate itself, and these parts are very quality parts made in 1960s. As I said, though, those two wheels are kind of mounted in the plate. Now it's safe to remove the alarm setting wheel. Putting back the screws in place. This plate can be left as it is in the cleaning machine. We don't need to remove that plate. That's the setting lever for the alarm stem. Now I'm going to flip the movement and start working on the train bridge. We will start by stripping down this train bridge by removing the three screws. See the quality of the train bridge in this movement. This looks really good and well made. I'm removing the three screws. Slowly pry the train bridge with a brass tweezer. We don't need to do prying on all the sides, but the shape of this train bridge is kind of different, so I'm slowly removing the train bridge using my brass tweezers. Very slight pressure is enough to remove the train bridge. If possible, try to use a brass tweezer so that these parts doesn't get stretched. Now we can start removing the wheels. Looks clean. Maybe this movement has not been used as a daily driver. I'm removing the escape wheel. I'm putting back all the three train base screws in place. The last wheel is secured by a plate. Now I'm going to remove the screws to remove the plate so that we can remove the last wheel. This is the wheel which drives time, and this is the wheel to which the cannon pinion sits, the dial side. I'm using a brass switcher to slightly pry the bridge. Slight pressure is enough to remove the bridge. I'm carefully removing the last wheel bridge. Slight pressure is what is needed to remove the bridge. I need to remove the ratchet wheel so that I can remove the last wheel. I'm going to unscrew the ratchet wheel screw. I'm using a piece of Rodico to remove the ratchet wheel. Now we can remove the last wheel. Now I'm working on the crown wheel. This is a reverse sided screw. Now it's safe to remove the crown wheel. I'm working on the alarm side. I'm removing the crown wheel of alarm barrel. I'm removing the alarm wheel. Apologize, alarm crown wheel. Now we can work on the barrel bridge of both time and alarm. Before that I need to remove the click spring. I am using my P-tool and my tweezer to carefully remove the spring. Before that I need to unscrew the click and remove the click, and then I can remove the spring. I'm using Rodico here to just gently get the click out of the end plate. Now I'm removing the spring by holding it with tweezer and my P-tool. I'm removing the click on the alarm side now to remove the spring. Using my Rodico now. I'm removing the click. I'm using my tweezer and the P-tool to carefully remove the click spring. Extreme care needs to be taken while removing the springs because they are very delicate. Now I'm going to work on the barrel bridge for both alarm and time. I'm unscrewing the barrel bridge screws of the time side. It is secured with 3 screws. I'm gently removing the screws. With a small screwdriver, I'm slowly prying the barrel bridge. Very little pressure is what needed to remove the bridge, but you need to give it in different spots so that you can evenly get out the bridge safely. Take your time while doing this. The bridge comes out. Now we can remove the barrel. This watch has 2 barrels, one for time and one for alarm. I normally change the mainsprings while servicing a watch, but for vintage watch like this, it's extremely difficult to get a mainspring. So as part of the service, I'm not going to replace the mainspring. I looked up the catalog both in US and UK. I'm not able to get one, so I'll be reusing the mainspring as it is. Not a great thing to do, but for vintage movements, it's extremely hard to get parts. Now I'm going to work on the barrel bridge of the alarm side. Unfortunately, this bridge has the setting screw tight, so I'm not going to remove the setting screw out of the bridge, so I'm going to keep it as it is. If you see, this bridge also has 2 more wheels to activate the alarm. One is the hammer, that is what which generates the sound when that alarm is triggered. The other wheel is the wheel which drives the hammer, and these two are very big wheels. If you see the one which is driving the hammer, it's quite a big wheel actually, and it's like a star. Now we can remove the hammer itself. Now we can remove the alarm barrel. Now I'm unscrewing the lever so that we can remove the time stem. The movement has been stripped down pretty much. Now we can put back the balance and give it a good clean. I'm putting back the balance. I'm carefully putting back the balance screw. I'm carefully screwing the balance screw in. Now I'm taking out the mainspring out of both the barrels. The one I'm currently working on is the alarm barrel, the smaller one. I'm slowly removing the barrel hopper. I'm just checking the direction of the mainspring just to make sure that when I put it back I know which direction I should put it back. I know that both of them winds clockwise. This concludes my part 1 of the video. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when I post new videos. Thank you.